I got this friend. She has this grandfather. And she told me that her grandfather has this kind of go-to unconscious strategy when he feels like he's not being the center of attention. When he feels like he's not being the center of attention, he suddenly gets sick. He has trouble eating. He has trouble sleeping. When he stands up, he gets really dizzy. He's very, very weak. So the family takes him to the hospital. And this is in Japan, where you go to the hospital for pretty much anything. But as soon as he's in the hospital, without getting any kind of medication, just by being in the hospital and surrounded by his family, he suddenly perks up and is happy again. And she told me that he does this over and over and over. Now, it's probably not a conscious thing. He probably starts to feel left out of the family situation because in Japan, old people live with their families generally. And when he starts to feel neglected, this kind of presents itself as all of these sickness triggers, these sickness indication, these sickness symptoms. And so they, oh my gosh, we better pay attention to grandpa, and they take him to the hospital, and suddenly he's better just because of the attention, not because of any medication they gave him. Nietzsche, the world famous philosopher, said you should live your life as if it is an epic story and you are the protagonist. So every time you wake up in the morning, you should ask yourself, how can I make this day part of my hero's journey? What can I do today? What can you do today? As part of the hero of your story, as part of your hero's journey, what can you do to make your life more epic and adventurous? Everybody is programmed with an ego. And the ego compels us to assert ourselves as importantly as we can into society. This is how society solves problems. Everybody presents what they think is the best answer, and this creates an emergent system that ends up with the best answer. And this requires that every individual person in this kind of collective, this ancient hunter-gatherer hive mind collective, everyone believes that my ideas are somehow better than everybody else's ideas. We all have this deep and ancient impulse to assert ourselves into society, to become the hero of society, to validate that we indeed are the hero of our own story. And this ego instinct has a crap ton of reframing properties. We reframe everything around us all the time to validate that we are indeed the hero of our own story. We reframe our own memories. We distort our own memories to validate the idea that we are the hero of our own story. If you've ever noticed in social situations, everybody likes to talk about themselves. This is what Dale Carnegie said. Everybody is interested in their own radio station. WIIFM, what's in it for me? And if you just relax back a little bit, you'll notice that everybody is trying to compete with their own ideas. This can be maddeningly frustrating, but only from the standpoint of trying to put your own ideas out there. But this is a very ancient instinct that was calibrated in a very ancient environment, an environment that doesn't work today, an environment that's much different today. This is an absolute goldmine opportunity to leverage other people's ego, to allow them to be the hero of the conversation, to ask them questions about some of the heroic things they've done in the past, some of the best decisions they've made in the past, some of their greatest accomplishments, and let them flex their hero ego all over the goddamn place. Because the more you do that, the more you leverage other people's egos, the more you can simply temporarily relax your own ego and let other people flex their hero instinct. You can take this and lead them to any decision you want them to. If you just ask them questions about their past accomplishments, their past successes, the best decisions they've ever made, even if you don't want to overtly persuade people to do something, even if you don't overtly want to seduce people to fall in love with you and beg you for repeated sex, even if you just want to have friendly conversations. This is a magnificent goldmine opportunity to recognize that in everybody is a hero dying to get out, a hero dying to tell everybody how important they are, how important they think they are. And to validate that hero is to make them feel better than they ever have in their entire lives. And they will subconsciously associate that fantastic feeling with not only you, but whatever you suggest that they do, like buy your product, or go home with you, or have a relationship with you, or do your idea for the weekend instead of their idea for the weekend. The limits are endless of what you can do when you leverage people's hero instinct. And all it does is realize you just need to play the long game, not the short, my idea, my idea, my idea. That's the short game. Play the long game, where you slowly, temporarily relax your ego, expand theirs from the inside out, and you can move their minds, move their desires, move their actions in any direction that you like.